What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Steffy wedding crasher return, derails Brooke and Ridge ceremony? Steffy Forrester may be getting ready to return as a wedding crasher, according to a hint in the Bold and the Beautiful. Will Steffy derail Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester ceremony after Jacqueline McInnes Wood's maternity leave? After all the chaos at Luna Nozawa, Steffy took a break with the kids in town, but she will soon be back. Once it's time for Steffy to come back into the picture, it makes sense for B&B to give her a grand re-entrance to the canvas. We can certainly think of one way for Steffy to make a splash and plant herself at the center of some major drama. The trouble may start with a bride switch, since Ridge seems poised to marry Brooke instead of Taylor Hayes following the Italy fiasco. Steffy wanted Taylor and Ridge to live happily ever after, so when that doesn't happen, she's going to be furious with her dad. Ridge has let Taylor down more times than Steffy can count, so she's going to be deeply disappointed in him. Of course, Steffy may blame Brooke for the most part and act like she should have just left Ridge alone. Steffy may still be able to turn this around and hold Brooke accountable, even though she couldn't have foreseen the boating disaster. Regardless, all indications point to Ridge marrying Brooke once more because he can no longer resist his love for her. Despite Steffy's disapproval, Brooke and Ridge might reschedule their previous wedding. Steffy will presumably be invited to the nuptials, but we could still be headed for a wedding crasher type of situation. Steffy might have planned to stay away from the wedding to show her support for Taylor, but then she might decide that Taylor will show up by accident. It'd be fun to watch Steffy come strutting in with a few things to get off her chest. Steffy might make it crystal clear that she thinks Ridge is making a giant mistake and that he'll wish he'd stuck with Taylor sooner or later. Steffy will, according to the Bold and the Beautiful, be informed of some upsetting news regarding Taylor and Ridge's broken engagement until then. Therefore, keep an eye on the show. Steffy Forrester's return to Los Angeles has never been a quiet event. Rather, her entrances tend to land like a tidal wave, luring every unsuspecting person into her orbit and sending the Forrester family into a state of panic as they try to recover. Now, with Jacqueline McInnes Wood's maternity leave drawing to a close, the Bold and the Beautiful appears to be gearing up for yet another grand Steffy reappearance, and this time the timing couldn't be juicier or more dangerous for Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester. Rumors are swirling that Steffy may step straight off her break and into one of the year's most high-profile Forrester events, Brooke and Ridge's rescheduled wedding. But instead of sitting demurely in the audience with a polite smile and folded hands, the whispers say she could arrive in true soap opera fashion as an uninvited wedding crasher whose mission is less about celebration and more about intervention. Steffy's absence has provided a rare moment of calm in the Forrester-Logan Moreno drama, which has been simmering for weeks, especially after the emotional fallout from Luna Nozawa's scandal and the tense atmosphere surrounding the boating disaster in Italy. During her time away, Steffy has been laying low with her children, regrouping, and one imagines mentally cataloging the slights, betrayals, and disappointments she believes have been unfairly dealt to her family, particularly her mother, Taylor Hayes. It's this fiercely protective instinct toward Taylor that could turn what was meant to be Brooke and Ridge's big day into a war zone of words, accusations, and heartbreak. If Steffy does show up on the wedding day, it will be amid a deep and lingering resentment toward Ridge for choosing Brooke once more over Taylor. From Steffy's perspective, Ridge's romantic pendulum has swung in this direction far too many times. Each swing leaves Taylor broken-hearted and humiliated, and Steffy has had to pick up the emotional pieces more than once. Ridge's decision to break off his engagement to Taylor after the Italy fiasco, only to fall right back into Brooke's arms, is bound to ignite Steffy's anger like gasoline meeting an open flame. The irony won't be lost on her. Just when Taylor had finally begun to reclaim her self-worth and independence, Ridge dangled the possibility of a life together again, only to snatch it away in favor of the same woman who has been her rival for decades. Brooke should have gracefully bowed out and allowed her parents to finally find happiness together, according to Steffy. Instead, she will likely frame Brooke as manipulative, opportunistic, and utterly incapable of leaving Ridge alone. Brooke's defenders will no doubt argue that love is love and destiny is destiny, but Steffy has never been shy about challenging the bridge narrative, and if she thinks Brooke is about to get exactly what she wants at Taylor's expense, she may feel it's her duty to stop the ceremony cold. The mechanics of her crashing the wedding could unfold in several tantalizing ways. She might at first choose not to attend out of solidarity with Taylor, expressing her regrets and keeping her distance. Yet as the day progresses, perhaps Steffy hears something aslip from Thomas, a last-minute confession from Finn, or even a plea from Taylor herself that propels her toward the venue. She could arrive mid-ceremony, the grand doors swinging open, her heels clicking against the floor as all eyes turned toward her. The sight of Steffy then, with her chin held high and perfect hair, could have sucked the air out of the room. If she has a prepared speech, it will be direct, cutting, and impossible to ignore. She might start with Ridge, reminding him of the promises he made to her mother, the trust he broke, and the cycle of hurt he keeps repeating. She may then turn her fire on Brooke, delivering sharp, pointed remarks about the way Brooke's presence seems to shadow every failed relationship in Ridge's life, painting her not as the woman Ridge can't live without, but as the woman he can't stop returning to out of habit, lust, or misplaced nostalgia. In addition to Steffy's emotional outrage, she may have picked up some new information during her absence, which could fuel her reappearance. Perhaps she's uncovered a detail about the Italy boating accident that hasn't yet come to light, something that casts Brooke or Ridge's actions in a new, damaging light. Or maybe she's learned of a quiet conversation between Brooke and Taylor, in which Brooke made promises she never intended to keep. If Steffy enters armed with evidence, it could shift her role from concerned daughter to full-blown avenger, determined to expose the truth before the vows are spoken. The drama could escalate to the point where even the guests usually content to watch these family squabbles from the sidelines begin to murmur and take sides. The Forrester-Logan fault lines run deep, and a public spectacle like this could split the room in two. Of course, Ridge's reaction in that moment will be crucial. He could try to shut her down quickly, demanding that she leave before she ruins everything. But if Steffy refuses, insisting that she won't sit by and watch her mother be discarded yet again, the conflict could spiral into a father-daughter standoff in front of everyone. Brooke, never one to shy away from defending her turf, might chime in, her voice sharp with irritation, accusing Steffy of being childish or disrespectful. This could push Steffy to her boiling point, and once she's there, she might let loose years' worth of pent-up grievances about Ridge's indecision, about Brooke's history with multiple men, about the way the Logans always seem to end up with the upper hand in Forrester affairs. And then there's Taylor herself. Even if she doesn't initially plan to attend, she could be drawn into the chaos if she hears what's happening. Imagine Taylor walking in right as Steffy is about to rant, her expression a mix of shock, hurt, and maybe even a little gratitude that her daughter is fighting for her. But Taylor's professional instincts might also kick in. She knows better than anyone that public humiliation can leave deep scars, and she might try to de-escalate the situation, urging Steffy to step back and let her handle it. Whether Steffy would listen is another question entirely. Not only would all of this throw off the wedding itself, but it could also end Ridge's fragile reconciliation with Brooke before it even started. Ridge may find himself in a difficult position because he is torn between his daughter and the two women who have had the most significant impact on his life. Does he follow through with the wedding and risk permanently damaging his relationship with Steffy and Taylor? Or does he call it off, at least temporarily, to address the fallout and repair the damage? Either choice would have long-lasting repercussions, not just for Ridge and Brooke, but for the Forrester family as a whole. A Steffy wedding accident could have repercussions that extended far beyond the ceremony. Thomas, who has often played both sides of the Brooke-Taylor divide depending on his own motives, might side with Steffy in solidarity, or he might urge her to let go and accept Ridge's choice, sparking tension between the siblings. Finn, ever the voice of reason, could try to calm Steffy down, but if he pushes too hard, he might find himself caught in the crossfire as well. In the meantime, Donna, Katie, and Hope from the Logan camp would undoubtedly band together in support of Brooke and frame Steffy's outburst as yet another illustration of Forrester's arrogance. In the end, whether Steffy's dramatic re-entrance actually stops the wedding or merely delays it, the damage will be done. Brooke and Ridge will be left to question whether they can truly move forward with so much unresolved hostility in the family. Even though Brooke and Ridge have a lot in common in terms of family and history, Ridge's heart ultimately belongs to Brooke. And Steffy will walk away knowing she spoke her mind, consequences be damned, just as she always has. If the bold and the beautiful truly wants to make Steffy's post-maternity leave return unforgettable, few things would do it better than dropping her into the middle of Brooke and Ridge's wedding with a mission to stop it. It would be classic soap chaos, love versus loyalty, family versus passion, past wounds reopening in the most public way possible. And if history has taught us anything, it's that in the world of the Forresters, a wedding is never just a wedding, it's a battlefield, and Steffy Forrester is more than ready to lead the charge.